Hey guys, welcome to the Computer Aid channel. Now what we're going to be looking at today is what I'm calling HDD health, the health state of your hard drive. In a nutshell, the hard drive in the computer is one of the most important pieces of hardware in there because it holds absolutely everything. Windows, your data, your pictures, everything. There are typically two types of hard drive around these days, the old school mechanical drives and the newer solid states or the SSDs. And by the way, there is no difference between computer hard drives and laptop hard drives. They all work in the same way. Just like most mechanical devices, the older the drive gets, the more it wears out, and therefore the slower it begins to run. There is some free software out there you can use if you think your hard drive is beginning to go. So the first of these we are going to look at is one of my favourite programs, Speedfan, which you can get from almico.com, and it works under all versions of Windows. So we've installed this already, so let's have a look at it. Now if you've used Speedfan before, you'll recognise this first screen if I just close this dialog. On a desktop PC we'll show you some voltages bottom left, but as I'm recording this on a laptop there are no voltages to see. And anyway, if I was putting more than 19 volts into this particular laptop we're going to have a problem. What we need here is the SMART tab. SMART stands for Self-Monitoring Analysis Report Technology, and basically it's a technique built into all modern hard drives that allow the drive to monitor its own health, much like the onboard computer on a lot of modern cars. So on the Smart tab we can select our main hard drive, and Speedfan will give us a fairly reliable indication of the state of the drive. We're running a little 120 SSD drive in this laptop, so we can select that. The time to worry is when you see red no entry signs and a very low fitness score here. So all we need to do is to click this big button here to perform an in-depth online analysis of the drive. And that will open to this if we scroll down slightly. On a lot of modern drives, and especially SSDs, you will quite often see a lot of unknown attributes coming up here. This on its own isn't anything to worry about, it just means the drive is telling the site something that it doesn't recognise. It's also fairly normal with SSDs, in particular a lot of the older ones. So on this screen you get to see a lot of coloured bars. You don't really need to worry about most of these, but there are only two that you need to concern yourself with. The reallocated sector count and the reported uncorrected errors. The reallocated sector count is pretty much the key here, because if this figure begins to go up it means the drive is beginning to go and be on the way out. Another tool you can look at is CrystalDiskInfo, which is available from crystalmark.info. I use this for a secondary check on the state of the drive if Speedfan doesn't flag anything up. And this is what it looks like. You'll notice this works in a similar way to Speedfan, but you shouldn't see any unknown attributes for the most part. This program also tells you all kinds of weird and wonderful things, but the typical thing to look for here is also the reallocated sector count. By default this will show up as a big scary warning at the top of the screen and a yellow star, and the health status will also fall to near enough 0%. What also may be of interest here is the age of the drive and how much data is written and is read over its life. And that's what these figures here indicate. You'll see here we're at well over 3,500 gigabytes in reading and nearly 6,000 gigabytes of writing. This may seem high, but modern drives and SSDs are capable of reading a few thousand more before they die, so this isn't necessarily a problem. So there we go, that is HDD health in a nutshell. Thanks for viewing, and please feel free to leave your comments and questions below, and don't forget to subscribe.